I was 37 years old when I realized I'd been living someone else's life. Not metaphorically, literally. Every decision I'd made, every path I'd chosen, every dream I'd buried, none of it was mine. I'd spent 37 years as a supporting character in my own story, and by the time I figured it out, I'd already missed the best parts. The worst part? I did it to myself. Stay tuned to find out how I became a stranger in my own life. And if stories like this hit different for you, smash that subscribe button. My name is Marcus, and for 37 years, I was the guy everyone could count on. The dependable friend, the good son, the supportive husband. I drove people to the airport at 4 a.m. without complaining. I went to law school because my dad said it was the smart move. I moved cities 3 times for my wife's career. I showed up, smiled, helped out, and never asked for anything in return. People loved me for it. Marcus is so selfless, they'd say. Marcus always comes through. What they really meant was Marcus disappears when we need him to, and I let it happen. Because somewhere along the way, I convinced myself my real life would start later. After I helped everyone else first. After I earned the right to want something for myself. Except later never came. The wake-up call came on a Tuesday. I was sitting in my office, at a job I hated, at a firm I never wanted to work for, when my assistant buzzed. Your college roommate Jake is here. Says it's important. I hadn't seen Jake in 15 years. We'd been best friends in college, but life happened. Or rather, I disappeared into everyone else's life and forgot about mine. Jake walked in looking exactly the same, confident, alive. He sat down and said, "Man, I've been trying to reach you for months. Did you block me or something?" I hadn't blocked him. I just stopped responding, stopped making time, stopped being available for anyone who wasn't asking me to sacrifice something. "I'm getting married," Jake said. "And I want you to be my best man, like we always said we would be for each other." I stared at him. "When's the wedding?" 3 months. I pulled up my calendar. 3 months out was already packed. My wife's work conference, my dad's birthday trip, a work retreat I'd committed to covering for my boss. "I don't think I can make it," I said. Jake just looked at me. Not angry. Sad. Like he was looking at someone who'd died but was still walking around. "Marcus," he said quietly, "when was the last time you did something because you wanted to?" I opened my mouth to answer and realized I couldn't remember. That question haunted me for weeks. When was the last time I did something because I wanted to? I started paying attention, really paying attention to my life. I'd gone to law school because Dad said it was stable. I hated law, every single day of it. But I convinced myself it didn't matter because it made my family proud. I lived in Seattle because my wife got a job offer there. I didn't even like Seattle. Too much rain. But supporting her career was the right thing to do. I spent my weekends helping my sister move. My neighbor fix his deck. My mom organize her basement. And when Sunday night came and I had 2 hours to myself, I was too exhausted to even know what I wanted to do with them. My entire life was built around other people's needs, other people's dreams, other people's stories. And I was just there, a background character. The guy who shows up when you need him and disappears when you don't. But here's the thing that broke me. I started thinking about my college years, the version of me that existed before I became dependable Marcus. That guy had dreams. He wanted to be a musician, played guitar, wrote songs, talked about moving to Nashville. He stayed up until 3 a.m. debating philosophy with Jake. He traveled on a whim. He said no to things that didn't excite him. What happened to that guy? I killed him. Slowly. One yes at a time to things I didn't want. One compromise at a time. One dream buried at a time. And everyone applauded me for it. I told my wife I wasn't going to her work conference. First time I'd ever said no to something she needed. She was shocked, then angry. What do you mean you're not going? I already told everyone you'd be there. I'm going to Jake's wedding instead. Jake, the guy you haven't talked to in 15 years? Marcus, this is my career, and it's my life. The words came out harder than I meant them to, but they were true. We fought for 2 hours. She accused me of being selfish. And maybe I was. But for the first time in decades, I was being selfish about something that actually mattered to me. I went to Jake's wedding, and something happened that I didn't expect. I felt like myself again. The old Marcus, the one who laughed too loud and stayed up too late and didn't check his phone every 5 minutes to see who needed him. At the reception, Jake pulled me aside. I'm glad you came, man. I was worried I'd lost you. You almost did, I said. I almost lost me. After the wedding, I made a list. Not a to-do list, a stopped doing list. Stopped saying yes to things I didn't want to do. Stopped moving for other people's jobs. Stopped pretending I liked law. Stopped building a life that looked good on paper but felt empty. I quit my job. My wife and I separated, not because I stopped loving her, but because I'd never been honest about who I was or what I wanted. She'd fallen in love with a version of me that didn't exist. I moved to Nashville, picked up my guitar again, started writing songs, got a job at a music venue just to pay bills, and for the first time in 37 years, I felt like the protagonist of my own story. I'm not going to lie and say everything's perfect now. I'm broke most of the time. My family thinks I've lost my mind. My ex-wife won't talk to me. But I wake up every morning and I know whose life I'm living. Mine. I was late to my own story. I missed a lot of good chapters, but I'm here now, writing the rest of it myself. And that's better than spending the rest of my life as a guest star in everyone else's. If you've ever felt like you're living someone else's life, drop a comment and tell me about it. And if this story resonated, hit that like button and subscribe for more real talk. I'll see you in the next one.